All right, let's dive in. In the next few minutes, we are going to build you a simple, powerful toolkit to help you absolutely master your next business trip. We're going to cover the whole shebang, from booking your flights to saying your goodbyes, and focus on the key phrases that make all the difference.
So, you've got a business trip on the calendar. That's awesome. But let's be real, it can also be a little stressful, right? Especially when you know you'll be speaking English the whole time. If that sounds even a little bit like you, don't worry. You are in exactly the right place. So think of this as our own little virtual business trip together. We're going to walk through every single stage, from the planning all the way to heading home. And along the way, I'm going to give you the exact words, phrases, and grammar tips you need to feel totally confident. Let's get to it. Okay, first things first. Before you even think about packing, you got to talk about your travel plans. And nailing a couple of keywords right from the start is such an easy way to sound more fluent and professional. Okay, this is a big one. To versus in. It trips a lot of people up, but the secret is actually super simple. It has nothing to do with the city or the country. It's all about the verb, the action word you're using. If the action is about moving, going, flying, traveling, you use to. But if the verb shows you're already there, like you've arrived or you're staying, you use in. So here it is, the dead simple rule to remember, your mental shortcut. Just ask yourself, is my verb about moving or is it about being there? If you're on the move, it's to. If you've already arrived, it's in. That's it. And here's another classic mix-up, journey versus trip. Think of it this way. The journey is just the travel part, the flight, the car ride. It's the getting from point A to point B. But the trip is the whole experience. It's the journey, plus the hotel, the meetings, the dinners, everything. So you might have a long journey, but you hope you have a fantastic trip. All right, touchdown, you've landed, you've made it to the office. Now comes the part that can feel a little intimidating, meeting people for the first time. This is where a little bit of small talk can make a huge first impression. Now I know, small talk can feel so awkward, but what if I told you there's a formula for it? A super easy, 3-step recipe to keep any conversation flowing. It's simple. 1, you answer the question they asked you. 2, you add one extra little detail. And 3, you ask a question right back. This little trick is a game changer. And here's that formula in action. It's perfect. Someone asks, "How was your flight?" Now, you could just say, "Good," and crickets, awkward silence. Instead, look at this. "It was good, thanks." That's step 1. A bit long, but I managed to get some work done. Step 2, the extra detail. And then, "Do you travel much for work?" Step 3, you toss the conversational ball right back to them. So smooth. Okay, listen up, because this is a tiny detail that makes a huge difference in sounding natural. When someone says, "Nice to meet you," your automatic response should be, "You too." So many people say "me too," but that sounds a little strange, almost like you're saying, "It's nice for me to meet myself." So burn this into your brain. Nice to meet you. You too. Being polite is just non-negotiable in business, right? This table is your secret weapon. For example, instead of a blunt no, saying, "I'm afraid not," sounds so much softer and more professional. And here's a great one. If you don't know a word they used, don't just nod along. Saying, "I'm not familiar with that term," makes you sound engaged and curious, not like you weren't paying attention. Okay, you've broken the ice, you've built some rapport, now it's time to pivot. You need to be able to explain clearly and professionally the whole reason you're there in the first place. And there's a fantastic, simple structure for this. It has a fancy name, the infinitive of purpose. But don't let that fool you. It's ridiculously easy. To explain why you're doing something, all you have to do is use to plus a verb. That's the whole formula. Just look at this. Why did she fly to Paris? To meet the new clients. Why are you visiting our headquarters? To discuss the project. Why did you schedule this call? To finalize the details. See? That TO plus verb structure is the cleanest, most direct way to state your purpose. So let's fast forward. The meetings were a success, deals were made, and it's time to head home. Leaving a great final impression is just as important as the first one. And a huge part of that is saying thank you in a way that really lands. And you guessed it, we've got another simple formula for this. When you want to thank someone for something specific they did, the structure is always "thank you for," and then the action verb ending with ing. And this is so powerful because it works for everything. Thank you for picking me up from the airport. Thank you for arranging the hotel.
It's specific, it's professional, and it shows you genuinely noticed and appreciated their effort. It's so much better than just a generic thanks. All right, let's wrap it all up. This right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. We've got TO for movement, IN for arrival. We know the journey is the travel, and the trip is the whole experience. We have a polite way to say no, a sharp way to state our purpose with TO plus verb, and a warm way to show gratitude with thank you for plus verbing. Add in our 3-step small talk formula and that crucial you too response, and you're golden. And just like that, our virtual business trip comes to an end. You are now officially equipped with a fantastic toolkit to make your next real-life trip a huge success. So the only question left is for you. Which one of these tools are you excited to try out first?